Hi friends, it's Gwen. I just wanted to wish everybody a happy new year. I have one of these party poppers and I thought I would pop it for you. I don't know how successful it's actually going to be, so let's find out. It says twist to shoot, rotate base in direction of arrows. Here it goes. Ah! That was awesome. Look. So, Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Today I decided to do my first ever question and answer video. A couple of weeks ago, a week or so ago, I put out on Twitter and Instagram that I wanted to do a question and answer video, so I had people submit questions and today I am answering them for you. I have 10 questions I'm going to be answering, so let's get started. And I actually did have to make some notes because some of these were tough questions, so thanks for the questions. The first question comes from the girls at Let's Talk Books, Nicole and Maria, and they asked, what book got you into reading? What is the last show you binge watched? So the books that got me into reading when I was younger, I was a fan of The Babysitter's Club and Sweet Valley High. I really don't remember any other books that I read during my childhood. As I got into high school, my mom was a big reader of Patricia Cornwell and John Grisham, so I started reading those books, and particularly I picked up The Body Farm by Patricia Cornwell. I recommend this book to people that like crime, mystery books. I love this author. She's one of my favorites. I have two favorite authors. She's one of them. Absolutely love her, and this book is amazing. So this book, and then books like John Grisham, like The Pelican Brief and things like that. So those kept me throughout high school, and then after high school I went to the Army actually, and I took like a little bit of a hiatus from reading, and then when I started getting back into reading, it wasn't until this past year really that I really started reading a lot more, and I picked up Eleanor Park by Rainbow Rowell, and this book was so amazing. I fell in love with this author. She is my second favorite author, and I love everything that she has written so far, and this book really forged me ahead in the reading world again. So I'm really thankful to the author and this book. The second part of their question was, which show have I recently binge watched? And to be honest, I am not a huge TV watcher. I do like Netflix, but the most that I've really sat down and binged watched lately was the Hallmark Channel, so does that count? Because during the holidays, I love those cheesy romantic things on the Hallmark Channel, so sorry, not sorry. So yeah, I watched those, but the last show I binge watched on Netflix was the second season of American Horror Story, the one that's set in the like hospital-y type place. Yeah, that one. And I haven't watched Coven yet, and I started watching the Freak Show one, and I haven't really caught up with that yet. I haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of binge watching because I just got out of school on like, I guess it's been a week and a half ago, and then I went home, and now here I am. So I haven't really had time to binge watch any shows recently, but those are two that I have been binge watching. Thank you for your question. The second question comes from Miranda at Books 101, and she asks, if you could pick a destination in a book to live in, what would it be? And for that, without a doubt, I know a lot of people will probably say like Hogwarts and, you know, that whole thing. Yep, not me. I want to live in Middle Earth, and specifically, I want to live in the Shire with all the hobbits. Yep, I love nature. I love their houses, like in the movies and stuff like that, and I would just love to live in Middle Earth. I have not read any of these books. I've only seen the movies, and I did pick up this book in the hopes that I will be reading it this year. So, but definitely Middle Earth without a doubt. Dwarves, elves, all that stuff. I mean, that just sounds like amazing. Am I right or am I right? So thanks for the question, Miranda. The third question comes from Danny at Danny Darling, and she tweeted this to me. It says, can you and your fiance do the boyfriend tag? Danny, I'm trying. It's taking a long time to convince him. He's like doesn't want to get on camera. And her second part is, what was the first booktuber you ever watched? To be honest, Danny, I have no idea who the first booktuber was. I remember Christine from Pulling Bananas Books. I watched her channel a lot. And then when I really started getting into booktube, not myself, but when I really started watching it on a more consistent basis, I was watching Lainey's videos at Ginger Reads Lainey, and I just really loved her Top 5 Wednesday. And I remember when it was just her and Mindy. And then I remember when a third person got added, and now it's like totally out of control. There's like hundreds of people doing it, which I think is awesome, but I remember her way back when. Thanks for the question, Danny. Question number 4 comes from one of my followers on Instagram, and her name is Whimsy Book Owl, and she asks, what are your favorite things to do other than reading, and if you like music, what are some of your favorite artists? So what do I like doing besides reading? Does shopping for books count? Because I love to shop for books, and I just like shopping in general. I mean, typical, right? I also love to travel. I really haven't gotten a lot of opportunities to travel, but I do enjoy traveling. So yeah, and I also love photography. I'm not very good at like video photography, like, you know, what I'm doing now, but I do really enjoy photography. I've taken a couple of classes. I love developing my own film. It's like a dream of mine to have my own dark room in my house one day. But yeah, so those are things I like. Let's see, hanging out with my friends and things like that. Of course, like all the usual typical stuff. She asked me if I like music. Yes, I like music. Okay, naming my favorite artist is a little bit harder. I enjoy alternative, rock-ish type, or just pop music. Some of my favorite artists are The Fray, Bastille, Imagine Dragons, Milky Chance, Adele, Gavin DeGraw, and Train. Those are just a few of them, but I really enjoy things that I listened to in high school, but I'm not going to tell you who they are because then you'll be able to age me. So thanks for the question. Question number 5. Question number 5 comes from Scarlet Jinx on Instagram. If you could only read one genre for the rest of your life, what would it be? And I'm going to say contemporary. Is that a lame answer? Probably. But you know what? That's all I got for you. Sorry. The next question comes from Madison at Mads at Madly Books, and she asks, what are some of your high anticipated books of 2015, and when did you start reading? Okay, when did I start reading is probably the easiest answer, so I'm going to answer that first. When did I start reading? When I was young, as far back as I can remember. Again, I was reading Babysitter's Club and Sweet Valley High, so when I was little. An exact age, I have no idea. But I've pretty much been a reader for as long as I can remember. Now, what books am I looking forward to in 2015? You really had to ask me this question, didn't you? Okay, first of all, I have to say that I really don't plan on buying a lot of books in 2015 because I was counting the books on my TBR bookshelf the other day, and I have like over 50 books to read. And I only read 43 books in 2014. So my goal is 50 books. So only if I read just the books that are on my bookshelf, I have more than enough books to read. But yes, there are books that I am really looking forward to in 2015. So here is a short-ish list of books that I am looking forward to. Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Oh, of course, anything by Rainbow Rowell, I'm on board. Now, that was the fan fiction kind of story that happened in Fangirl, and why I wasn't really a fangirl of Carry On. I really love Rainbow Rowell. I know she's going to do great things with it, and I know she's not going to disappoint me. So looking forward to that in 2015. I also saw a book, Charlie Presumed Dead by Annie Hetzel, and this book is about two girls that are dating the same guy, but they don't know it until he dies, and they show up at his funeral, and they're like, wow, what's going on? So then it's kind of like this mystery, like he has a secret life, what's going on? That's really all I know about it, but it sounds really interesting. The next book is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. Oh, sounds amazing. So basically humans and fairies are living alongside each other, but out in the forest there is this glass coffin and there is a boy with horns in there, and it just sounds really amazing. Check it out. Another book is Every Last Word, and by Tamara Ireland Stone, yeah, I think that's her name. And it's basically about this girl that has OCD and the thoughts and stuff like that she's dealing with. And it is a young adult, but it deals with the mental illness as well. And I'm really interested in that sort of thing, so have that. Another one that's kind of along the same lines is Everything, Everything, and I don't remember the author's name. Sorry. I'll put a little picture of all these books here. But that one is about a girl that is allergic to every single thing outside. So she has never left her house in 17 years. And the only people that she knows is like her mom and her nurse. And I don't know if her dad's in the picture or not. But basically there's a moving truck that moves in next door, and then she's really intrigued, and who knows what happens. So that one sounds really good. Of course, I'm looking forward to Fairest and Winter by Marissa Meyer. I have read Cinder and Scarlet. I have Cress on my shelf. We should be reading that soon. And then those two books, of course, I want to complete the collection. So, and she's an amazing character development author, and I love that about her books. Next would be Half Wild by Sally Green. I have not read Half Bad. I know, I am so behind on my reading, but I heard it is amazing, and I can't wait for the next one. If it's amazing as I have heard, I can't wait for the next one. And then lastly, I put on my list, there could have been so many more, but the last one I put on my list was The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. I'm sure you have seen my channel many times, me mentioning The Kiss of Deception by her. And this is the follow-up to that, and I'm really looking forward to it. So those are some of the books that are coming out in 2015 that I'm really excited about. What are some of yours? The next question comes from Wish Fulfillment on Twitter, and I'll put her little picture and her little thing question here so you can follow her, because she is a really beautiful, nice booktuber, and she follows me on Instagram, and I don't know, I just love her to death. And she asked me, what fictional characters do you relate to most? And you had to ask me this like really tough question, didn't you? Basically, the easy answer would be none, because people in books, their lives are too perfect, or they're really rich, or they live in they're like these strong women, which I consider myself a strong woman, but they're like in dystopian worlds and they overcome all this stuff, or they have powers. And I mean, I can't really relate to any of that. I would like to say, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I relate to Fangirl, or oh, I really don't relate to the girl in Fangirl. But if you made me pick an answer, I would just say Beth or Jennifer from Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. Just because they seem like normal, everyday women, and yeah, I'm pretty much that. I'm a normal, everyday woman. So, there's your answer. That's as good as I've got for you. The next question is about couples. What are my favorite fictional couples? And that comes from Bethany at Mount Beth on Twitter, and she asks, who are your favorite fictional couples? And this is actually a really hard question for me, because I haven't read a lot of books where couples really stand out in my mind for some reason, but I did write down a couple. Of course, Katniss and Peeta. What would the list be without Katniss and Peeta? I also really love Eleanor and Park. Obviously, any couples that Rainbow Rowell writes about, I end up loving them. And I also really like the odd couplings in the Lunar Chronicles. So if you've read those, you know which couples I'm talking about. Thanks for your question. Question number 9. One of my theater friends asked me this, and he actually does have a YouTube channel, and he's super amazing and talented, and his name on Instagram and on YouTube, his channel name is Yes, I'm Victor, and he asks, would you rather have a hook for a hand or a wheel for a foot? Victor, really? This is such an easy wheel for a foot. Hello. I think a hook would be hard to like do stuff with, but as a wheel for a foot, I could just like glide around. It would be so easy. My feet would never get tired. I could go shopping like way more, and I don't know. I think I could make it work. What do you think, Victor? Thanks for the question. And the last question comes from Kylie K, and her Twitter is Kylie K Official, and she asks, how many books can you balance in your head while clapping your hands? Well, Kylie, the answer is 4 books. How do I know this? Because I tried it out. And I do have a clip. I don't know if I'm going to be inserting it, but I did attempt to stack books on my pretty little head and clap, and I was able to get to 4 books. So the answer is 4. Thank you everybody for submitting questions. I plan to do more question and answer videos as the year progresses. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bear! Oh, oh.